Okay, so this is the part two of my Speak My Life video. Okay. And also in seventh grade, I joined student council, and that was like a really good outlet for me, to have fun and stuff after school. And I was a treasurer, and so we would like serve stuff at the basketball games. Like we had like a concession stand and stuff, and that was really fun. And eighth grade, I lost because this popular girl, she ran. Her name was Josiah. She ran against me, so I had competition, and she won. But I was still involved because the sponsors really liked me, and so my position was like the sergeant at arms because during the basketball games when we would serve the concessions and stuff, I would like always guard the table to make sure people weren't stealing and stuff like that, and so they called me the sergeant at arms. And so yeah, I was kind of like a representative, but that was my title. So that was really fun. Seventh and eighth grade being a student council, and I was still in band in middle school, and doing the choir, and we had drama class. So a little background on some of the stuff I did activity wise. But eighth grade, it was good and bad. It was good, like I said, my friends, me and my group of friends, we got closer, and we hung out and stuff during school. And I never have been the type of person to really do stuff outside of school because it costs money to do stuff outside of school. Like I'm not the type of person where I like to go to someone's house and hang out. I don't know. I just like to go places and experience the world. I'm kind of like the person. I like to travel. I like to go different places and stuff like that. So when I spend time with my friends, I like to go out to eat, go out to the movies, go to the mall and stuff like that. So when I did get to the point where I could go out to my friends and stuff for the weekends, I really didn't do it that much because I never really had money and stuff like that. But sometimes I think I did, do stuff with my friends outside of school, and that was fun. But anyways, so yeah, eighth grade. I remember one of the best times of eighth grade was when I seen the flyer to go to Washington D.C. Like the opportunity to go to Washington D.C. I remember like I heard about it for seventh grade, and I think that's when I knew I wanted to go. When the eighth graders were going in eighth grade, and I was in seventh grade, and I saw the flyer, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait and stuff like that. So then I asked my mom if I could go, and she said no because basically we didn't have the money because all my life. We've had to struggle, paying bills and stuff like that. We've never been like, I guess you say financially stable and stuff. We kind of like live paycheck to paycheck and stuff like that. We've always, had just enough money to pay the bills and stuff like that. Um, so it was like $800, I believe. And then I asked my grandmother, and she said if I get all A's, then I could go. So, sorry, I'm thirsty. So I pretty much already had all A's. I just had one B, I think, in history class, and the reason I had a B is because it was like a heavy workload. Like the workload was very hard, because he had like high expectations. I think because he had taught high school earlier, and then he taught eighth graders, and he was actually one of my favorite teachers because he actually like I appreciate him pushing us and giving us the harder work and some of the things he instilled in us and stuff like that. His name was Mr. Smith, and then my other teacher, my math teacher that I really loved, my name was Mrs. Phillips, and she used to say this phrase. She always used to say, "Pay attention," like not pay attention, but pay attention. And it was so funny when she said, and I just really loved her because, she was a really good teacher also, and she, didn't take no mess, and she also, instilled in us some really good values and stuff like that. But anyways, so I worked my little booty off. I got an A, and then I told my grandmother, and then she paid the deposit and stuff, and she got the insurance. She's like, just in case my egg go down, she get her money back. So yeah, and my friend Albriana, which I mentioned earlier before, one of my best friends, she was gonna go, and that was another reason I really want to go, experience that with one of my best friends and stuff. And because she was like pretty much the only person that I knew that was going, and the other kids I didn't really know. And so we went to Washington D.C., and to say the least, it was like the one of the best experiences and vacations of my life because, like I said, I like don't really travel that much because we don't have money. So, um, best, it was just a wonderful experience. Took lots of pictures, And it's just fun to like, still go back and look at all those pictures that I took and just to reminisce about the times. And we took a coach bus all the way to DC. And yeah. And then a really bad time, well, another good time in my life when if we was at gym, we was in gym class, and my friend Shani, she had told us, we was walking and stuff, and she had told us that she had something to tell us, and then she told us that basically she was pansexual, and she was describing like what it was, and then I finally understood what it was. Before that I was like really confused and stuff like that, and yeah, really confused and like didn't know who I was and stuff. And then it finally clicked, and when she told me that, it kind of like fit me basically. Like it made the most sense. And then yeah, pretty much that's when I found out. And so that was a really good time in my life where I could finally like put a label, I guess you could say, on who I was, if I did have to put a label on it and stuff. And yeah, but that was just something she went through back then, because she's not pansexual at all. She's just a straight girl. But anyways, um what else? Another good time. We got bullied a little bit by this girl named Ariana. She bullied us, I guess, I think mainly because she was jealous of Shani, because Shani was like this Mexican girl with long hair, and she had her hair dyed black, and she had red highlights or whatever. It was like black and red and purple in her bangs or whatever. She was really like different. She was like alternative and scene and goth or whatever. And she was very confident, and didn't care what people thought about her. So I think Ariana was kind of jealous of that, so she kind of bullied us. But it eventually stopped or whatever. It didn't really bother us. We just told on her and stuff. And eventually she moved away, and no one talked about her ever again. So her friends, her so-called friends, weren't really even her friends. And yeah, a bad time in my life was in eighth grade, was when I got really sick. I had a really major pain crisis. I had pain in my arms, both of my arms and both my legs. And basically, my pain feels like stabbing pain. Basically, feels like someone is stabbing you and stuff like that. Um, Pain is different for different people, but that's what my sickle cell pain feels like. And so it's basically my arms and my legs. And for like the last 2 or 3 months of school, I say about 2 months of school, I had to stay home and be on homebound instruction and miss all those great moments, with my friends and stuff. So that was very, depressing and, stressful, I guess you could say, and very depressing time in my life. One of the most depressing times of my life. And yeah, so that was just horrible. But I did get to go to a few events, like the honors luncheon. Basically, we got an award for a certain GPA that we got, and I was like a few points away. But my mama called to the school, and she's like, you about to give my baby this award, because he was like really close and all he had been through." So I got that award, and I really do believe I worked hard for it. And I finished off the year on homebound instruction, which was depressing, but I was ready for a new chapter in my life, which was high school. Moving on, high school freshman year. Before freshman year, I did the summer program. It wasn't summer school, but the summer school kids. We were with the summer school kids, but it was basically an enrichment program to keep up your skills during the summer. And I went to that and met a few friends that I'm still associated with, I guess you say now. But yeah, so freshman year, I was still friends with Brianna and stuff like that. And we was planning on going to school the first day, freshman first day, and stuff like that. Okay, so Brianna changed and stuff. I guess you say sophomore year, but we'll get into that later. Um, Freshman year is a time where you have fun, you meet new friends, and the thing about like my freshman year is different because most of the kids that went to my middle school went to a different high school, so I didn't know many people, and so I really did have to make new friends and stuff like that. So I met new friends. I hung out and did activities at the school. I was in like show choir. I had choir class. I had a study hall with some seniors like towards the end of the year, because I had another kind of medical issue, probably a pain crisis, so I couldn't do gym anymore, so they gave me a study hall. And freshman year, I guess, was the most social year that I've had, the most exciting and memorable. And I also was in student council. I was a representative, so that was fun, doing the homecoming stuff and all that. And everyone's, your friend, and everyone's nice, and everyone's still nice, and just like middle school, everyone's nice, and everyone talks to each other and stuff like that. Sophomore year. Okay, so I'm gonna have to end this video. It's so hard to speak your life, but I promise part two will not be that long. I mean, part three will not be that long. So, hope you guys enjoying this drama life. Speak my life. So check out part three and be a superstar. Peace.